Yo, what is up, Karma Nation? We are back for another podcast on this beautiful Friday afternoon. I am here with my boy Ethan. How's your day been going?
My day is wonderful. It's Friday, Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. Yeah, it's a good day so far. I'm
Oh
in a
yeah,
great mood.
it's good.
My tennis play hit this morning. I made about $2,000 off college football last night. I am feeling sexy.
We got another $2,000 to make for WNBA today, right?
Yeah, and I'm actually I have a esports prop going on right now that our esports expert Ricky gave us in chat, and it's looking good so far.
Yeah, he's got a pretty similar name to you too, right?
Yeah, his name's Ethan. Ethan Under. My name's Ethan, but I'm not going under.
You should have gotten over on Ethan.
Ricky said under, so we took the under. And so far, Ricky's looking smart.
He's always smart. Gets all his horse plays right.
Yeah, they're up 10-1 right now. Pitiful.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So hopefully I get you the sweep.
I'm ready for some WNBA tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. Took down the $88 one last night. Well, I tied for first, unfortunately. Some guy had the same lineup as me, but it is what it is. That was an interesting slate yesterday because we had a lot of news that we didn't expect.
Last minute.
Alyssa Thomas, that was interesting. I didn't even think she was on the injury report or anything. She just popped up. Yeah, we figured Jasmine Thomas would be out. She was supposed to play 2 games ago against New York, and people just assumed they were sitting out because it was New York. But playing her fasciitis just pops up randomly. It's annoying, but yeah. So she had to sit, and then Alyssa Thomas sat. So of course we're gonna play Bonner. She didn't do too well though. She had 22 points, but just not anything special.
The problem with Phoenix is, and here's something I've noticed by watching the games: Bonner sits at the very end of the third quarter, early fourth. If the Suns start getting blown out in the start of the fourth quarter, Bonner doesn't come back in. And that's what happened yesterday. Bonner didn't play any of the fourth quarter, so they were getting blown out. She just sat on the bench. It's happened multiple times, and that's why I said tread lightly with Bonner over on props. Just because they get blown out, she's not going over.
Yeah, you kept me away from her for the prize picks play, but I got screwed anyway. I had Brianna Jones. We talked about it last pod. I said there's something real juicy. And that was before Alyssa Thomas news. And once Alyssa Thomas got ruled out, it was like, ooh, Brianna Jones, 100%. She almost went over in the first half. It was 22, and she got 19 or 20 in the first half, finished with over 30. But Vegas sucks against forwards. She didn't put up too good of a game. She had 4 blocks and steals to help us out, but bigs are always going to get a couple of defensive stats. But yeah, good game from her. Draftkings, I had her. I did a little Connecticut stack. Her, Bonner, and Montpierre.
Who had a good game.
She had a great game. Only one other person who had the same lineup as me played her on Draftkings, at least in that high dollar. That's the only one I played. But yeah, she was very low owned. Had 4 blocks to help us out. She had like 20 points in the first quarter. Ooh, that was a great game. We also pounded over on Bet Karma for free. BettingKarma.com gets you in the Discord for free. All my WNBA plays are free, and we went heavy on Aces minus 6.5 because there was no chance that game was staying close, especially in the fourth quarter when they're just completely tired and the Aces are way too deep. So yeah.
Excuse me. Speaking of free stuff, you know what else is free?
What's free?
My dating advice. In Discord. So another reason to join Discord is you get my free dating advice because I'm the dating expert.
There's a reason it's free.
Because it's great. So
yeah, I guess you've been living with a girlfriend for like 2 years, so yeah, great advice.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be here all day.
If you want a nice long-term open relationship, he's your guy. Yep, he's mastered that art. Somehow his girlfriend hasn't broken up with him, so yeah, I guess you're just a stud. So
yeah. Right. Don't go and ask how I do that, but
let's get back on track with some WNBA. So we're gonna be breaking down the WNBA slate for DraftKings and FanDuel as well. Got the prop sites monkeyknifefight.online and prizepicks.online, promo code KARMA. Actually, some big news. Monkey Knife Fight just acquired a fantasy draft. Big site getting even bigger. So definitely go check them out. monkeyknifefight.online, promo code Karma. You get a free money, free deposit bonus when you sign up. And Prize Picks, you get a free play to win $25. So good promos there to get you started. We got NFL season starting, and definitely want to hop in our Discord for that, for those props. Pretty cheap, $15 a week, I think it is, right?
So yeah, something like that. Yeah,
pretty cheap, just $15. We're gonna have probably 15 props a weekend.
I mean, maybe a monkey knife fight prop yesterday profited you $25. So there's your weekly plus 10.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, all it takes. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our live streams or podcasts. Don't forget to hop in our free chat room by going to chatdfs.com, and then you can get into Bet Karma's free chat room by going to bettingkarma.com as well. Free chat rooms, no reason to not hop in, try it out, it's free. It takes 2 seconds to put the URL in and hop into the Discord, so pretty easy there. So let's start things off with some injury news. We got 2 pieces, 1 starter, 1 bench player. We got Wnba. She's questionable. She missed the last 2 games, so we'll see what happens there. Monitor that. And then we got Jordan Canada is doubtful. So, obviously, doubt she plays. So, just monitor both of those. We're not going to know, I guess, unless we get an injury report. Because she doesn't start, we're not going to know unless they put out an injury report. So, starters don't matter.
Yeah, Canada's probably not going to play if you're doubtful.
Yeah, I've seen WNBA players doubtful and play for some reason. I guess they don't know the definition, but yeah, I've seen probable players not play, so we'll see. Yeah, so if Canada doesn't play, Whitcomb becomes much better play. I'm sure Lloyd will get more minutes. And if Nneka's out, again, load up on Candace Parker. Probably won't play Chelsea Gray, even though Nneka's out, so we'll see what happens there. And of course, the Nigwi is a good play. So we'll touch on those in a second. Let's start off here with DraftKings. As always, we will start off with the guards. I know we're not a huge favorite on guards today, so
no.
Who are you looking at?
Well, so first thing, when you first open up DraftKings, you'll notice there's a lot of good forwards tonight, and they're high priced. So for cash, I'm not paying up at forward at all, and I mean at guard at all. And honestly, for guard for cash, I'm probably the highest I'm going is probably Sue Bird at 7,000.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to touch on first with this slate is you have Minnesota and Seattle. Both are good defensive teams. So if I'm picking a guard to pay up for, it's Vandersloot straight up.
Yep.
Enrique's, a lot of people at WNBA will box score watch. Be very cautious of Enrique. Yes, she got about 40 fantasy points against Minnesota, but Sabali was out. So she shot the ball, 23 times or so. She's not going to get that volume again today because Sabali's obviously playing. So Sloot is who I'm paying up, though. Sloot's playing about 34, 36 minutes a game. They don't have much of a bench. I think Chicago's not good now that they lost to Shields and Stevens. I think Washington can hang with Chicago in this game. Yep. It's not going to be a blowout. We saw Sloot go for, 15 assists? I think that was a record, right? She broke?
I think she's had more than 15 assists this year. I don't remember.
She broke the assist record the other night. I forget. I think it was 15 or 18, something like that.
18, yeah. She had 18 the other night.
Assists, yeah, that was the new record. So, but, Sloot easily will have a double-double tonight with 10 assists at least and at least 10 points. So if I'm paying up, it's Sloot, and then I'm also going Copper at 9,200. Both are Chicago players. Both are going to play mid-30 minutes, and both should score very well in this game. I'm not touching Dangerfield at 9,300. I'm just straight up not touching any guards from LA or Dallas today. So,
yeah.
But I know you like a lot of the cheaper people. You're kind of on the same boat as me as paying down at guard today and paying up for forward.
Yeah, it's tough to pay up at guard today. Do not pay up on guard and cash. I'll just say that. You can obviously GPP, do whatever you want. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. I do like a Chicago-Washington game stack, so you can go Sloot and Copper and then run like Heinz Allen to run it back with her. That's probably as far as I go with the game stack. That's probably all you can afford for a game stack anyway. But I love those three and a little game stack for GPPs. Definitely not cash. I won't be buying any of those. Jewel Lord's a great play at 8-2. That's probably the highest I would go in cash. Probably won't touch her in cash, but I don't mind her there. I'm sure on FanDuel she's usually pretty cheap. No, she's 6K on FanDuel too. Might as well just get Dangerfield, 100 less. And then Subort, it's 1,000 less. But yeah, probably won't be touching Jewel Lloyd outside of GPPs. But great matchup against LA. Most of Seattle's fantasy points are coming from the front court, but LA is good against the front court. So you could see Lloyd and Bird and Wickham have great games today, more than usual. But yeah, I'll go there. Nothing wrong with Sue Bird, probably going to be one of my cash plays. And then you got Leslie down there at 6,000. I've been playing Leslie most slates, unless there's other value that's just much better. She just continues to stay at 6K. I think she's always 3-3 on FanDuel as well. Let's see, where is she on FanDuel? I haven't really looked at FanDuel yet. Let's see. Yep, 3-3 again on FanDuel. Great play on FanDuel as well. Great salary relief there on a guard slate you don't want to play many guards on, so you're really looking for that value. You got Leslie, you got Wickham there as well. Wickham won't start. Like, Leslie's going to get the start, so I'm hesitant to play bench players in cash, just because you never know what the minutes are going to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll get them for 20 minutes, sometimes they'll run the starters way too much, but as we talked about before the pod, Bird isn't going to see the minutes, isn't going to see 30-plus minutes. She's older. It's going to be a good game, but there's no reason to run her in the ground when you have a championship run to do. You don't want to injure her. Just like they do in Taurasi, they're not running her too much.
Well, this is only the second game back for Bird, I think, from her injury.
Yeah. Yep. Second game back. She got 25 minutes the first night. So we'll see what happens there. I doubt she plays more than 30, even though they're going to be short. But still, she's not going to play it. That means Wickham's going to get huge minutes. Prince might get some minutes, but we might see Lloyd play 35, 40 minutes. Just because there's not many other guards to play, because Bird's not going to play that much. So if Lloyd gets 35 to 40 minutes, she's going to break 30 points for sure. She might get up to 35 points. So, but definitely just GPP play for me. Unless it falls to me and I got the 8-2 to pay up for her, I'll play her, because she can get 5-10 more points than Sue Bird. So I'll make the switch from Sue Bird to Jewel Lloyd if I have the salary. But I'm not forcing her in cash. I don't force a lot of players in cash outside some stud forwards.
Let me ask this: do you think Seattle blows out LA tonight?
No.
No, you think all games stay close tonight?
What's the other game? Is Minnesota Dallas. With Sabali playing, I don't think it blows out. Chicago Washington won't blow out. That's an 8.5 point spread. I do like Washington 8+8.5. Chicago without Stevens or DeShield just isn't the same team. Obviously, Washington's missing a lot of players too, but I do like Washington to cover there. I don't know what I'm leaning with LA yet, but I do like Minnesota covering as well. But hop in the free Discord at BetKarma, bettingkarma.com, and you'll get my official final plays. But I do like those. But I don't think a game blows out. Seattle's a 6-point spread. They probably will cover it, but it won't be more than 10 points.
I agree with you. I think all these games stay close tonight too.
Especially if a Wnba plays, it won't blow out. But yeah.
we got screwed by the blowout last night. So
yeah, that was tough. Was not expecting that at all, especially with Dupree playing. That was really surprising because I mean Phoenix had 7 players playing, but that's what happens when the GOAT puts up 6 threes in the first half again. So. Yeah, and be careful with Taurasi as well. Just like Sue Bird, she's not getting blowout run. And they're not going to push her too much. She got 25 minutes where Diggins got 35 minutes. They only had 1 guard on the bench and 1 forward on the bench, so obviously they had to play a ton of minutes. I didn't factor that in enough to lean Diggins over Taurasi last night. I should have, but I didn't expect a blowout, so...
Joey, I got a question for you. What are you doing with these Minnesota guards tonight? We got a bunch of cheap guards down here. You know, you got Banham. I know you touched on Lexi Brown pre-pod. Johnson. Are you thinking about playing any of these Minnesota guards? You know, I know you're not touching Dangerfield because she's 9,300, but surely one of these cheap guards is going to have a good game eventually.
I don't trust their minutes. They'll. I mean, if they're getting more minutes, but they're just not getting the minutes. So, which is a reason why Dangerfield's 9-3. She's just playing so many minutes. Outside the blowouts, and she's been playing 30, 35 minutes. Sims also been playing a ton of minutes. They've been going up, back up to 26 minutes. I like Sims at 6'6". She's not the cheap guard, but she's in play at 6'6". I'm not going to play Carlson today. I played her last game against Chicago. She put up 23 for me. But that was just a good matchup, so I'm not going to go back to her. But, I mean, if you want to take a chance, I'm not going to unless... Because I only run 1 or 2 lines on DraftKings, normally just 1 line. So there's no reason to play it if you're playing 1 line. But if you're playing more than 1 line, no reason to completely fade these players. Is Shanice Johnson back?
Yeah, she played the other night. That's why I was one reason why I was going to add.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Stella Johnson. Those S. Johnsons got me confused. Yeah. So those 10 minutes, I mean, each of them are probably just going to play 10 minutes, and unless somehow, like, Bannon played 22 just because she was on fire, and you just read the hot hand, of course, no reason not to, especially when they were getting blown out, they needed something. But I don't see, I mean, there's a chance the game blows out, but still not going to touch it. I mean, if it blows out, they'll let Sims, I probably won't play Sims just because of the blowout risk. I doubt the game blows out, but there's a low risk, so I won't touch Sims and cash. And there's other better plays, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with those under 5K guards and GPPs, but it's a huge risk, which I'm not willing to take. FanDuel, let's see the price on Lexi Brown on FanDuel.
Lexi Brown, man. She only played 5 minutes. Her last 2 games, she played 9 minutes and 5 minutes. It's just downhill.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was 5K on FanDuel. Yeah, there's no reason. If she was like 3K through 5 on FanDuel, she has that steal upside. But yeah, they're expensive on FanDuel. They're almost more expensive. Yeah, they're more expensive on FanDuel than on DraftKings. Like,
yeah,
they're the same exact price. Yeah, Lexi Brown's 4.9, which on DraftKings that's great value, but on FanDuel you expect 25 points out of someone at 5K, at least 20. Yeah, so I'm probably not gonna touch him, but big field GPPs, that $5 30 max or whatever it is, for 1,000. Yeah, I mean it's fine, but I'm not gonna touch it.
Fair.
But unless someone gets ruled out for some reason. We always see those random rule outs, so. Yeah, guard, I'm probably going to have a small player pool for guard today. Really condense that player pool up. Probably have 5 players I'm considering for guard. Vandersloot, Copper, Jewel Lloyd, and then you got some cheaper players with Sue Bird, you get Keira Leslie, Wickham. That's probably it that I'm considering at guard. Maybe Sims, but that's it. And the Washington guards you can take a chance on if you really want. They're cheap enough. Atkins is below 8K, so always a decent play below 8K, especially against Chicago, who sucks defensively. So I'll probably play Atkins. If I'm going to play one, I'm going to play Atkins over Mitchell. But I'll have that Keira Leslie cash most likely, again, in a great matchup. So... And that salary relief is much needed. Yep. She can get you 15 to 20 in this matchup. But yeah, all right, let's move on to forward.
Yay!
Let's see who we got. We got 4 10K guards. I mean, 10K forwards to pay up for. So who are you looking at that range?
All right, so and now you see why we said we were going to pay down for guard. You got 3 of these women over 11K. I don't remember the last time we had a slate where 3 women forwards were over 11K at the same time. I don't think you could go wrong with any one of these 3, but because Seattle has a tough defense, I'm going Stewart and Collier up top for my forwards today.
Don't play Parker and Cash. She's fine GPP because she can stuff the stretch seat and get like 8 assists, but don't play her in Cash.
And don't play Sabali in Cash either. 10-2. I think she'll do fine, but Minnesota's a great defensive team. But I think Collier and Stewart's floors and ceilings are just way higher than the other two today.
Yeah, Maisha Heinz Allen will probably outscore Sabali and Parker, I would say. So I would not touch. I would just go down if you really want to go down to Maisha Heinz Allen, because Sabali will get you 25 to 30. Parker will probably get you 25 to. I'd say 30. You can get Parker. So those are some good unders and props. But yeah, I'd take the salary relief with Heinz Allen before I play Parker or Sabali.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you completely, and I'll tell you this: a trendy pick's gonna be Cheyenne Parker at 8,800. She went off last game, big time. And people box score watching, they were going to play her today. I guarantee you, she might be one of the chalkiest players on the board today.
I hope so.
Yeah, a name though I do like, Gabby Williams at 7-7. She comes off the bench, but she's playing pretty much the whole game. It seems like she sits probably the first 3 minutes of the game, and then they sub her in. She doesn't come out. So at 7-7, I don't mind her at all. She's putting up over 20 fantasy points a game.
Yeah, nothing wrong with her. And you get that. To touch on Cheyenne Parker, I mean, she's not a bad play, but 88's a little too much, yeah. And if she's chalked, there's no reason to play her. It's a decent matchup, and Dolson's not playing, so I can see a path to success, but just not worth it paying that much. With Azora Stevens out, yeah, she needs to play. This guy are confusing me because they start Dolson and just don't play her.
I think one thing, Joe, we need to clarify: Dolson is playing in the game. Joey meant she's just not playing a ton of minutes. Yeah,
she got 10 minutes last game. Like, she starts and it's just... I guess Cheyenne Parker's just... I think Cheyenne Parker's better than her. She's better defensively for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dolson just can't defend. Plain simple.
Yeah, yeah, so might as well just go down to Gabby Williams. You can take a chance on Dolson. I mean, she starts... she's an amazing GPP play because at 6K, if she just happens to play 25 minutes to 30 minutes...
Yeah.
She's going to get you 25, 30 points. So, amazing GPP play, just not going to touch her in cash.
Do you see anybody cheap that you would play for forward? I mean, I'm looking down the list, and there's just nobody.
Ruthie's fine. She starts. I'm not going to play her in cash, though, because she got 8 minutes last game, and I don't want to deal with that in case that happens. And Nigwi, fine in cash if... what's her name? Wnba misses. She's getting a little too expensive on Draftkings, but I'm sure she's still 3K on FanDuel, most likely. No, she is 4-3 on FanDuel. She's more playable on FanDuel than Draftkings, but still, that might be a little too expensive for me. But you can play her. Yeah, there's more value at guard than forward today. So
yeah, well, pay up at forward, pay down at guard.
Yeah, I mean, slates change, of course, throughout the day. But, yeah, for right now, it's pay up at forward. You can even go even today. I don't mind, in GPPs especially, because you could see Stewart getting 35 to 40. 40's not going to kill you. Collier could end up staying under 40 as well. Parker will stay under 35. Sabali could end up staying under 30. Then you get all that leverage. You can play Heinz Allen, Dantas, Gabby Williams.
Are you on Mieseman tonight?
I don't think so.
We haven't really touched on her. I mean, you got teammates. You got Heinz Allen at 9,500, Mieseman at 9,400. What do you think of that? I know Mieseman's been kind of not getting over 30 fantasy points since she returned. But we saw Heinz Allen just complete bust the other night. So what's your thoughts on those two ladies?
It looks like I like to see Mieseman shooting 18 field goals because that tells me her shoulder's looking better.
Yeah.
Especially 3-3s as well. It's not a huge three-point shooter, but that first game back after that shoulder injury, 1 of 10, you knew that thing was still bothering her. And then you saw 30 minutes, and shooting 80% and 44%. I think it's a tough decision. I wouldn't force Heinz Allen if you don't have that extra $100. No reason to.
I feel like one of them is going to score over 35 fantasy points tonight.
Yeah, there's a good chance both of them score 30 fantasy points. One of them could have the higher ceiling for sure. I would say Heinz Allen has the higher ceiling just because she fills the stat sheet a little more.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it should be interesting because I don't think you run Ruthie in this offense. Uh,
Mm-mm.
so we're gonna see a lot of Cheyenne Parker. I I want to play Cheyenne Parker, but just what did she raise? Is there a price raise? Yeah, if she's still in that below 8K range, I would play Cheyenne Parker, but just it's tough. But yeah, there's a lot of value in that Chicago game that's gonna go overlooked. Yesterday we saw like barely anyone played people in the first game. I feel like that's gonna be the same thing today. It's a lot of leverage. Because if you, I don't think you can play. I mean, the top play in this game is probably Leslie, but these other guards definitely have the higher ceilings. You can run. I don't know if I'd run Sloot in Copper, because you want to get some exposure. I might run Copper instead of Sloot today, just because
I like that a lot, to be honest with you. I love Copper.
See if you run. Let's see if you run Vandersloot, Copper, Heinz Allen, and Meesum in a line, and then you probably have to throw Leslie in for the salary relief. You're left with 5-4 at forward. Guess you can run Enigui, but yeah, I don't think you can run all four of those players together. Yes, they're gonna have to make the decision. I'll probably do a little more research, see how each of Meeseman and Heinz Allen score, what their tendencies are, and see who's better. I haven't been able to look into that yet, but I'll take a look at that and see who I like better. Definitely gonna play a role in props. We'll touch on that later. Check to see where they're projected for the props, but right now I don't have a firm decision. I wouldn't force either of them, but they're good plays if your line goes to that. So I guess yeah, for Dantos if she gets the minutes, but 9-1 I'm not gonna pick 9-1 for Dantos. Alicia Clark at 7-5 is a pretty good play. I doubt anyone plays her, but pretty good play there. I'll fade Hawkins at 6-9. There's a chance she pays off value. She can get 20 in this matchup. But definitely not cash, but she's fine for GPPs, and she provides some relief. I'll probably end up playing Ruthie over Hawkins if I end up in that situation, but I don't mind playing both of them. Definitely good matchups for everyone. Then Enigui, if Wnba misses. Harrington's getting some minutes. If this game... We've seen Dantas... I think it was last time they played. Yeah, Dantas got benched for Harrington. Herbert Harrington. So, I mean, you can't just go off of that and say that's going to happen again. But if it does happen again, maybe they just didn't... I didn't see any reports. Like, I checked for... Because that cost me, like, $1,000 for not hitting her prop. She was, like, 75% of the way at halftime and then just didn't play the second half. And I saw no reports about it. So I'm not sure what's going to happen again, but you can consider Herbert Harrington if you really want. You need that relief at forward, but I don't see myself playing that. But GPPs, of course, go for it. She'll get you some minutes, just it's tough to say. But yeah, that's it for DFS. Got anything else?
I got nothing. If you want to move on to props, we can do that.
We will move on to props for sure.
I love the props tonight.
Oh, touching on FanDuel for a second here. You got a little different salad. You got Meeseman and Cheyenne Parker are pretty cheap over there. So Meeseman's definitely in play on FanDuel more than DraftKings. They're both 165, 163. So it's definitely, if you want exposure, I'd say go over to FanDuel for them. Because sometimes I want to play, but they're just a little too much. But that's when both sides come into play, and then you just check the better value. But yeah, that's it for DFS. Let's move on to props. Let's start with Monkey Knife Fight, just because the news they acquired Fantasy Draft. So we'll let them go first then. Let's see.
Oh boy.
So which game would you want to touch on first?
I mean, the game I think you and I are both looking at is the rapid fire in the Dallas-Minnesota game. First off, this is something you and I touched on. why in the world is the 2-for-2 rapid fire a 2.5 multiplier and the 3-for-4 is a 2.5 multiplier too? Monkey knife fight. Let's wake up now. Let's fix that.
Yeah, their max is all messed up too. It's $20.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm holding off on Monkey Knife Fight right now from playing because their contests are all messed up at the time. But look at that rapid fire. You got Collier versus Enrique, Dantes versus Sabali, Mabry versus Dangerfield, Gray versus Thornton. I think 3 of those are pretty easy. We're not going to go through and say which ones are our favorite, but I think 3 of the 4 are pretty easy on this one. If you've listened to this pod, you kind of know. You can probably guess where we're leaning at this time, though.
Yeah, and we kind of touched on this game for DFS side, and you can figure it out for sure. Especially that 2-for-2 you can figure out.
This isn't hard. So I'm targeting that game today. I'm staying away from Seattle props for right now. Just because I don't play a ton of props nightly. So one thing that you'll know from Joey and myself, we don't play a ton of props nightly, like some people do. We find probably 2, our favorite prop on each side, and then maybe a second one that we like, and then we just go ham on it. So I'm keeping my eye on the Chicago Mystic game because, like you, I think that could be a fun game, a close game, and I do have some leans in that. But Minnesota, Dallas is where I'm targeting my props right now for Monkey Knife Fight.
Yeah, I don't mind all overs in that Chicago Mystics game. So you can have some fun with a GPP instead of, like, I want exposure to this game in DFS, but I'm probably not going to, just because I run one lineup on Draftkings. So I might just take some. You basically have a game stack if you go all over on these players because you need all. If you're gonna run, I was talking about the Sloot, Heinz Allen, Copper, Meesman line you could do. If you're going to take down GPP, these players all have to go over this projection. So, same thing. Even Cheyenne Parker at 8.8 on DraftKings, if she's not getting over 25 for you, there's no reason to play her.
And I'll give you all a hint. My favorite price pick prop is in that Chicago Mystic game. My favorite person on Prize Picks board is in that Chicago Mystic game.
She's gone up 1 since last night.
That's okay. I still like it.
There's your little hint. Just figure it out.
Yeah, so if you've been watching the board, you can probably figure out who it is, but I love the over on this person. So, you want to go ahead and transition to Prize Picks while we're at it?
Let's transition over to Prize Picks now.
So, we touched on the Chicago Mystic game. Heinz Allen's the only difference. She's about 2 points lower on Prize Pick than she is on Monkey Knife Fight. But outside of that, all the other players are pretty much projected the same on both sites. So, they'll add a 4th player. So just a reminder, Prize Picks will add a 4th player for each team as we get closer to lock. So I usually like to wait until they add that 4th player before locking in stuff. But for right now, my favorite over is in the Chicago Mystic game.
Yeah, I would say that as well. I might run a little 4-for-4 all overs in this game because you get a little more value for my Heinz Allen. I like that over there. I hate playing Mystics players, though, so I might not end up playing it, but I do like that over on Heinz Allen. That's not our favorite play. That's just a play that I don't mind it.
But Joey just eliminated one guess for you, so thanks, Joey.
No problemo.
I will say I do like a lot of unders on this board, though.
Yes, especially with this defensive games going on here. There's one juicy one I think I see.
I see a juicy one.
Maybe 2
is what we're looking at.
I was a little further down too.
Well, I think there's 2 unders in.
There's a good amount of juicy ones in here.
I mean, the projections are right. The problem is Prize Picks is not adjusting to how good these teams are defensively.
Yeah, these are like average. I would say these are average to above average matchups for these players, like what they're projected at. So they're not projected like they're playing good defensive teams.
Correct. But like Sabali's 32, she's gone up 3 points since this morning. She's more expensive on Prize Pick than she is Monkey Knife Fight. Same with Dantes. Dangerfield's the same. Collier's the same. Enrique's the same, but I think you'll see right now we have 3 wings on the board. It wouldn't shock me at all, and this is not an official play. This is not where I'm going yet. It would not shock me if all 3 Dallas Wings players went under.
And we're going to get Mabry as well, so she'll probably end up unders too.
Yeah, you'll get Mabry and Sims on this board later today.
Yeah, you'll get those. And then
if Docus doesn't play a lot of minutes like she's been known not to, she'll go under.
Even if she plays full minutes, 30 is a ceiling. I'd say 32 is the ceiling for her, unless she's like goes off at 44 again. But that's just like a 1% chance of that happening. But yeah, I think like 32 is the ceiling for her if she's playing 30 minutes. So I mean that's a decent under as well. She's more likely to be under 30 than over 30, definitely.
Yeah, and I'll say this: Dantas had 17 minutes the last time these teams played. So, and she was in no foul trouble. So, my guess is she's probably going to play not that 35-minute, 30-minute game.
Yeah, I wish we knew the reasoning. It was probably just matchup based. I mean, she had a good game too. I think she had 17 fantasy points in the first half.
Just didn't play second half.
Yeah, so the coach probably just didn't like either her hustle or they just didn't like the matchup, which happens. You got to adjust, but they didn't tell us anything. I wish they told us what was going on because then we could actually figure that out for next time. If it was a matchup thing, she's going to get 17 minutes again. But they might have just been riding the rookie Harrington, so I'm not sure. She had a decent game that game. She replaced Dantas, so who knows?
Yeah, so let's touch on this last game. Again, Nineke, we need that news still. She's questionable. Canada, like says, doubtful. But looking at this board, comparing it to Monkey Night Fight, you have Parker 2 points higher on Prize Picks. You have Stewart a point higher on Prize Picks. Howard's the same. Gray is higher on Monkey Night Fight by a point. And then Lloyd looks to be 1 point higher on Monkey Knife Fight. But I do think there's some good unders in this game, too. I'm not touching Natasha Howard. She has screwed me so much. Ever since she started off so bad this year, and we loved her unders at the beginning of the year. But lately, fuck, man, she's been killing it. And I just keep taking the under and keep getting burned night after night.
Yeah, I got to look up how she's doing it. I just don't feel like researching her because she's expensive on Draftkings, so I'm not going to play her. And I just avoid her props. So I'm going to check that out. Maybe it's just doing well on the boards.
It's hustle. She's hustling.
Yeah, she was Defensive Player of the Year. She's a hustler. She's great.
I mean, like the other day, I think she had like 4 blocks and steals, 10 rebounds, 10 points. Something crazy like that stat line. Yeah. I'm not touching Howard, but Parker and Gray are a little high, I think, for playing Seattle.
Yep.
And I've had a lot of luck with Sydney Weiss under. Now, she's 14.9, so usually she's a little bit higher. But Sydney Weiss, I have had a lot of success with her under lately.
I don't get why they have her on the board all the time.
Because she's the 3rd best player on the team.
I guess because she starts and there's no NECA, but, like, still. You got Raquina Williams, you got Sykes starting. I mean...
Yeah, I don't get it either. And playing a lot more minutes. I think she barely touches 20 minutes.
Yeah, she just starts and then just... I mean, she can hit 15 easily because she's a three-point shooter.
100%. But you normally, when I've been playing Sydney Weiss, she's been around 10 fantasy points a game.
Yeah, so. The ceiling's always there, just she's more likely going to miss.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'm for sure locking Sydney in with my amazing overplay. So
at 14.9, you're doing it?
Well, I did it at 16.5, but
yeah, you moved that player up and you moved Sydney down.
I've been pounding some props all morning.
So I'll probably play that player with a couple other plays. Maybe run a couple 2-for-2s. There's a lot of unders I like in these games.
Yeah,
so
could be a good underboard tonight for Prize Picks.
There's a chance I just stack this Washington game and then just fade the rest. I mean, the rest of the players are more consistent, but it's just the matchups aren't good. So there's a chance to just grab some leverage here, but those Washington and Chicago players are just so expensive. It's going to be tough for me to do it. I'll probably be deciding until the lineup's lock, but yeah, we'll see.
I hear you. But outside of that, I mean, like I said, they'll drop some more players closer to lock. But outside of that, I got nothing else for props, Joey. So with that, I think you get the last word again.
Oh, tired.
As you're
Good luck.
yawning.
Yeah, drinking some coffee too. Need to wake me up. We got 3 more hours to lock. 3 more hours of studying.
Oh boy.
We got NBA to study for. We got MLB to study for. Check out our content over at DFS Karma and over at Bet Karma. We're always putting out content, always putting out articles. Make sure to check out Ben and Bales for that MLB podcast. And yeah, let's win some money tonight.
Yep, we'll be back Monday probably. I think
Yeah.
we can. Yeah, we might do a Saturday.
If the
pod.
lock's late enough, we'll do a Saturday or Sunday pod. But those noon locks
Are hard.
Yeah.
You don't want hungover Joey and Ethan. No, that was bad.
Yeah. So
And my girlfriend's going out of town for 5 days, so I'm getting litty in the city tonight.
Yeah, so we're not gonna have a podcast tomorrow, I guess. Then, yeah.
Most likely not. Not if it's an 11 a.m. lock.
Hop into our Discord. 1 more week of regular season WNBA. So, $10, and you get all our Discord notes. Definitely worth it.
Yep.
So, we will see you on Monday, Labor Day. Well, it's only one game on Monday, so we'll see if we do a pod.
Yeah, probably Tuesday.
Yeah.
But
We'll see you
we'll be
Monday.
back.
We'll see you next week sometime.
All right. See y'all.
All right. See ya.